Right now on Hot Pursuit, this patrol car's trunk gets junked. A traffic jam jams up a drug runner's commute. And a suspect gets stuck between a cop and a hard place. In Canton, Ohio, an officer pulls over the owner of this SUV for driving with a suspended license. The guy complies, but takes his time searching for just the perfect place to pull over.
Pulling in the Pier 1 imports side of the building. Stop.
The officer's running out of patience. It's time for this picky parker to cut it out.
Stop the car! Put your hands on the steering wheel right now! Put it in park, slowly! Step out where I can see your hands! Do it now! Don't reach, I'm gonna light you up! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Don't reach, get out of the car! Get out of the car right now! Undo the belt slowly! Get out! Get out! Back here, put your hands on the car. I'm going to shoot you with a taser. Take a step back, spread your feet. Put your hands on the car. Go down to your knees. Do it now! Cross your legs. I didn't say go on your belly. Cross your legs. Put your hands behind your back. Look straight ahead. Don't move. You understand? Keep your hands on...
You can't say the officer didn't warn him. When the guy's hands went down, the taser went off. He now finds himself parked next to his truck.
You move, I'm going to strike you again. You understand? Not secure. Taser still on.
The officer calls in backup, but for now has to rely on the threat of electric shock to keep the suspect in line.
On the ground. I'll light you up again. Why didn't you just do what I asked you to do, Michael?
It really hurts, though.
Yeah, it does hurt.
Yes, it does, sir. I promise you, I will not move. You do not have to hit me again.
Roll over on your left side onto your belly. Do it now.
Backup arrives, and just in time, too. This driver has a lot more to worry about than a suspended license.
Don't touch anything in that vehicle. Hey, Mike, get a plastic bag. There's a yellow piece of paper up there he tried to eat.
Looks like all that electricity has made the guy a little hungry. When a policeman gives you instructions, it's a good idea to take them seriously. Here's a shocking reminder of what happens when you don't.
Keep your hands on... 25676. Okay, sir. Taser's utilized.
Just because you're driving a luxury automobile doesn't mean you have any class. In Cherokee County, Georgia, the driver of this black Mercedes is drunk and has so far ignored requests to pull over. The troopers on his tail decide to box him in. But this driver isn't about to be stopped. The officers move their cars into position and suddenly strike. Staring down the hood of the Mercedes, the trooper has no choice but to open fire. The driver gets through, but it's not exactly a clean getaway. He's out of control as he hurtles across the median, crashing into some trees on the other side. Several of the trooper's shots hit their target, and the driver is left in no condition to escape. Meanwhile, the officer who took the brunt of the car's impact is in pain and needs immediate attention. Luckily, he's got his buddies around to help out. What started as a simple DUI quickly spun out of control, with a black Mercedes turned into a weapon and a cop left with no choice. Coming up on Hot Pursuit, can a guy write a ticket without being interrupted? And a canine cop is barking up the right tree. Back in Georgia, Douglas County Sheriff's officers are a bit suspicious of this black Lincoln. Time to pull it over. After running his plates, they learn that his driver's license has been suspended for fleeing officers at a previous stop. If it worked for the guy once before, why shouldn't he try it again? The Lincoln is no sports car, but it weaves in and out of traffic like one in a desperate attempt to get away. The chase soon reaches over 115 miles per hour. At this speed, it's easy to miss the bundle of cocaine that the passenger throws out of the vehicle. They're already busted for a bunch of crimes. Why not add drug trafficking to the list? As the evidence is sprayed all over the highway, more officers join the chase. But with all this snow flying around, they're going to have a hard time keeping their eyes on the crooks. One officer swerves to keep up with the fleeing felon, but is forced off the road. Suspect still hasn't shaken the cops, and the chase keeps flying down the Georgia highway. A chase like this ends in one of two ways: the suspect running out of gas or crashing. Given the high speeds and the smoke billowing from the car, cops are betting this guy's gas supply won't be the problem. Suddenly, the officers get a much-needed assist from something most people hate: traffic. With the highway at a standstill and the shoulder blocked, one of the drug runners takes a run through the woods. But with a canine unit on his trail, he'll be lucky to break a sweat before he's arrested. The other guy has a little more sense and surrenders to the police. When the perp's taken down by the police pup, the officers move in to cuff him. The whole thing is ended without incident. Or has it? Squeezed between the cruiser and a big truck, an officer's foot takes the full weight of a semi as it rolls down the highway. As he limps away for help, the dog lets the felon know who's boss. Driving into traffic is a good way to get jammed up. Thankfully, the cops got a little help from their four-legged friend. Too bad this suspect and this unfortunate officer won't have a leg to stand on. In Guilford County, North Carolina, this woman has been stopped for speeding, and the officer wants to have a quick chat.
Yeah, ma'am. My $2 off the street. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Green, the reason I stopped is I've been behind you since Racine Road. I've clocked you 4 different times during that time. You were in a 45 zone, also a 55 zone. Your average speed was 71 miles per hour till you came up behind this truck here a while ago. Yes, ma'am.
But their conversation is rudely interrupted. A distracted driver slams into stopped traffic in front of him. And it sounds as bad as it looks.
571, signal 1, 1050 just for third.
All things considered, it's the crash victim's lucky day. The woman the cop pulled over earlier is a nurse. She suits up and gets ready to help.
I got the EMS and fire on the way. Yes, sir. You got my kit.
One look at the damage sustained by both cars, and it's clear these drivers are going to need the nurse's aid as quickly as possible.
Can you pull your car up there and block that lane? Sure. Because they have quit flying right by there.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Let this be a reminder about the dangers of rubbernecking. Coming up on Hot Pursuit, some cops aren't afraid to get a little dirty. And how did this camera avoid getting crushed? In Donna, Texas, state troopers don't just have a stolen car to chase down. They also have to rescue the owner's 8-year-old son, who was still in the back seat when the car was taken. This dirt road makes it a rough ride for the officer, who struggles to keep things straight. But even though the terrain makes this chase tough, the trooper isn't going to let this maniac get away with kidnapping. The car thief does all he can to shake the cop and takes the off-road chase even further off-road. But the thief overestimates the stolen car's capabilities and gets himself stuck in the mud. Realizing he's in over his head, facing child endangerment and evading arrest on top of stealing the car, he gives up. The boy was returned to his mother safe and sound, having just had the ride of his young life, although the crook will get a much slower ride to the local courthouse. This car thief took one kid and one cop on one bumpy ride. But when he finally gave up, he was wearing a striped shirt. How fitting. He won't even have to change clothes when he's sent to prison. In Columbus, Ohio, Sergeant Ethan Moffett is lying in wait at a speed trap on a busy highway. He doesn't have to wait long. So far, so good. This driver is ready to comply and pulls over without a problem. Sergeant Moffett approaches the car. It's a textbook speeding ticket. And before too long, the Sarge is ready to send the driver on his way. But suddenly, a pickup truck has slammed into the back of the patrol car, starting a domino effect, pushing it into the other vehicle. In slow-mo, the Sarge's lightning reflexes are clearly visible. He sees the truck coming and leaps out of the way. This crash could have killed Sergeant Moffett. But thanks to some quick thinking, he'll live to write another ticket. Coming up on Hot Pursuit, two car thieves want to make a very clean getaway. And a suspect turns a patrol car into a punching bag. This is Columbus, Ohio, and these two lucky ladies have broken into a police bait car.
Bitch, you cannot drive crazy.
It's fitted with an onboard camera, a remote engine kill switch, and a GPS tracking system. So while these two car thieves are having a good time stealing this car, the cops are having a good time watching them. Wait a minute, was that a police car? Yes, it is. So they duck and then sit up again and pretend nothing's happened. Very smooth. Of course, they're not fooling the police watching them on camera. The cops have had enough, and they remotely kill the engine. These two thought they were playing it cool in this hot car, but the cops could see right through their facade. Say cheese. In Seminole County, Florida, this stolen garbage truck is being followed by a police helicopter. Earlier in the morning, Orlando PD received a call from the driver telling them that he was suicidal. Now the police are trying to safely bring in this careening 10-ton truck. They've deployed spike strips and taken out his front tires, not helping the truck's handling at all. He comes to a standstill at these traffic lights, but the cops have to be cautious with this delicate situation. So he's able to head off again. He flies through a toll booth, riding on just his rims. Eventually, the big rig gets the better of the driver and veers into the drink. Soon enough, the suspect is surrounded.
Comply with orders so far.
Now that they've fished this guy out, he'll be taken into protected custody for his own safety. Things are a little shaky in Greensboro, North Carolina, where the suspect in this Toyota pickup tears through a shopping mall parking lot, past a gas station, and then to a very unlikely place.
We're going behind the sheriff's department. There's the Toyota pickup truck with a washer and dryer in the back. Appears to be occupied by one white male. He just struck another patrol car.
But it's no accident. As his brake lights flash on and off, it's clear he wants to take his anger out on the parked car. Again, and again, and again. With one patrol car wrecked and his own truck not doing much better, the guy's early morning rampage keeps on going.
Vehicles going behind the food line. More vehicles in the parking lot heading towards the McDonald's.
The suspect might be searching for the drive-thru. This officer is hungry for one thing only, putting this chase to an end. Finally, another officer blocks the pickup's way. His one-man demolition derby is over.
Get up, ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. 2410 and
Road 457 hours 22 and 23. You about to step back.
What's going on, Bo?
Nothing, sir.
What are you doing?
22, 10, 4, and I'll be 10, 23.
Trying to get to my accurate NSX.
Huh?
22, 10, 4.
I was trying to get to my accurate NSX.
23, gun.
What are you hitting all these cars for?
I asked the police officers right here to help me. They wouldn't help me.
Who's the police
I
officer?
don't know them. They wouldn't help me.
411, copy advised.
Where were they out at?
Huh?
Where was the officer at?
What officer?
The officer that wouldn't help you.
I don't know where is it. The Lord told me to come over here and take care of business.
Okay.
422, 10.
As it turns out, this bipolar suspect hadn't been taking his medication. But he did take out 5 patrol cars and 1 SUV instead. So the cops put him out of business.
The Lord told me to come over here and take care of business.